Hi.
My cat thinks I'm talking to her.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Sit down, relax, light up a candle, make yourself a nice drink, grab some water, and just chill with me and Lola. This is my cat, by the way. Today, I am going to be your older sister. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you don't want me as your big sister.
I'm your big sister.
Sorry, if she's distracting, imagine how I feel. I have been thinking about making this video for a while now. I really enjoy giving college advice. I don't know why.
I literally don't know why.
I have helped a few people with their college applications, their college essays, getting into the school that they want, and I've always really enjoyed giving advice. Some advice that I never gave people because I really wasn't sure and I hadn't reflected on it enough was picking what school. You can get into 5 schools that you really like, but how are you going to pick which school you want? So that's what this video is about today. I came up with 10 different things to really look out for and really take into consideration before you make the commitment of picking a school. I also have 10 questions that go along with all of those 10 points for you to ask yourself so that you can really pick what school is meant for you. I will also be giving you guys some of my personal experience as well. I went to Cal State Long Beach, just so you guys are aware that I actually went to college, so I'm giving you advice. Not a professional at this. I didn't graduate with a counseling degree or anything, but I just want to let you guys know that's where I went before starting off. So let's just begin. Number 1, don't choose based on others. Pick a school for yourself, not just to be near your friends, family, or significant other. So I made this mistake right off the bat. This is something that I wish somebody would have told me because I would have gone to a completely different school. I got into my dream school, which was UC Santa Barbara. As soon as I saw that acceptance letter, I was like, I have to go there. But then I started overthinking and being like, well, I want to be close to my family. I'm gonna miss them, blah, 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 whatever. Don't make that mistake. If you want to go somewhere, just go, because in the future you will regret it. You can visit family, they can come visit you, you can see each other, it's fine. Pick the school that you want. So what happened to me was I ended up moving to a school still pretty far away because I didn't want to be in my hometown, and my family moved to another state. In the end, me wanting to be closer to home didn't even matter because they ended up moving. Make sure that whatever decision you make and where you want to go is because you want to. Don't follow your significant other. If it's meant to be, it'll work out. Don't follow your friends because they're all going to a school, because you can make new friends. Don't stay somewhere because you want to be close to home, because you can always visit each other. Make sure that wherever you decide to go is because you want to, not because somebody's pressuring you or because
You're gonna get FOMO.
things happen. People move away. You can stop being friends with people. You can break up with your significant other. Not wishing that on you. Those are things that can happen. If you currently think that you're going through something like this, ask yourself this question. If your best friend or your partner wasn't going, would you still pick that school? Remove all of these people that you know from your life that are going to that school. If they weren't going, would you still go to that school? That will be a huge factor on whether or not you are picking a school because somebody's going there. We're gonna move on to number 2. Research your major and career opportunities. Look into the programs, faculty clubs, and job placement rates. Does this school even have your major? Don't settle for a school that does not have your major, because a lot of people don't realize that some schools don't have the major that you want, or they have something similar, but you really need to do your research on what you want to do after college, which I know is probably so overwhelming because I thought I knew what I was going to do after college and I did something completely different. So I just think doing your research, talking to your advisors, contacting people at the school, and making sure that the major that they have align with your goals and what you want to do after college. So a question that you can ask yourself about this is, does this school have strong programs, faculty, and connections in your future career field? I will be talking about my experience now. My master's program said marketing in the title, but it was marketing analytics. So when I started the program, I thought it was going to be more marketing and some math heavy, but it ended up being learning how to code, which I did not think that that's what I was going to be learning. So make sure that you research what your program is and what you're learning, or if it'll help you get into the career that you want. Number 3, compare costs and financial aid. Consider tuition, housing, and overall expenses. Look into scholarships, grants, work study, and jobs. So this is something that I actually really struggled with. I was an AVID in high school. If you don't know what AVID is, it's basically a program that helps students get into college, and they help you with applications, scholarships. Luckily, I got a really nice high school AVID teacher who sat down with me before and after school, filling out scholarships, making sure that everything was perfectly fine and
Right.
on my applications. I was very confused on how all of this worked. I knew that I would get financial aid, but I wasn't sure how much and what it would cover. It was really confusing to me, honestly, and I would definitely recommend talking to an advisor or a counselor at your college and making sure that they break down for you, this is what your financial aid is going to cover, this is what you're going to get back if anything, this is what you're going to have to pay. Because for my undergrad, everything ran smoothly. They paid for basically everything, and I even got money back because I wasn't dorming on campus, so it was like for books and supplies and also for the cost of living. But when I went to apply to my master's program, I knew that it was going to be more expensive, but I just assumed that that extra money that I got for undergrad that would cover the cost of the rest of my program. I was wrong. I went to the first semester of my master's degree and everything was fine, whatever. And then when I tried to enroll into my classes my second semester, they were like, you have an academic hold and you actually cannot enroll until you pay this amount from last semester, which I had no recollection of. And I even called them and I was like, I thought that everything was going to be covered. In the summer, I had called and I said, okay, is everything going to be covered? And they said, yes. It wasn't. And I think the person misunderstood my question. So I would definitely recommend going in person, taking notes, making sure, hey, I need to know how much I'm going to have to pay out of pocket so that I either get a loan or I figure it out. So don't be like me and just not check any of your online portals. Make sure that you're checking those because that's where you get notifications on whether you owe the school a couple $1,000s.
My Shayla!
Question that you can ask yourself for this is, can you realistically afford this school without too much debt? What financial aid options are available? She's over me. She's over my... That's a really important question to ask yourself because can you afford it? Are you gonna have to be working 3 jobs? What if you don't get into the dorms? Which happened to me. I didn't get into the dorms my first year, so I had to find a studio that was 30 minutes away, really overpriced. So make sure you ask yourself, can I realistically afford this school? Like, are you getting scholarships? What financial aid options are available? These questions are really hard to ask yourself. I know, because you have your hopes set on this perfect dream school, and then you start to really look at the cost of living there. You start to see it's actually more expensive to go there. You truly need to reflect on that before, because only you know your situation. Some people work 3 jobs and they're fine. They can still get their homework done. They can still be in clubs. Some people don't want to work on the weekends, or they just need a day of the week for their mental health. Everyone's situation is different. I think asking yourself those questions is very important early on. As much as sometimes I do get really sad I didn't go to my dream school, I know for a fact I would have been rooming with like 10 people at a house. There are some schools in very populated beach cities, rent is just really expensive. I'm sure that the vibes are great, but personally, that cost of living...
Hi.
Moving on.
Because I'm talking a lot.
So number 4, tour the campus. Obviously, if you live on the other side of the country, it's a little bit harder to like go visit the school. I would definitely recommend visiting the school. This, I think, is really important because you get to go see if you even like the school. You get to talk to people. You can go see what there is to do. I visited Cal State Long Beach when my brother graduated there, and then when we dropped him off at the dorms. I like that school. I remember the first thing that I saw was that blue pyramid there, and I was like, that's like kind of cool. I was too young to really go around and talk to anybody, but it was like cool to see it so that when I was older, I knew what I was getting myself into. I recently went to Boston and I toured Harvard, and all I'm going to say is that if I would have toured that school when I was in elementary school, I would have gotten my grades up. I would have been valedictorian. I would have done everything in my power to go to that school. If you're a parent watching this, take your kids to schools. Please, like, take them to schools and tour because they remember those things and they'll be like, hey, maybe I want to go there when I'm older. College isn't for everyone, but if you start showing them that at a young age and it is meant to be for them, they're going to start being more motivated to work harder to get into the schools that they want to get into. And if you are old enough to drive or even ask your parents, hey, like, can you take me to go see this school? I'm really interested in it. I want to go walk around. I want to talk to advisors. I want to talk to people there. I think that that is very valuable in itself, and you can really see what it's like on campus. If you're not able to visit the campus in person, I would recommend seeing if there are any virtual tours or even any YouTube videos about people's experiences and really decide for yourself if that's a school that you would really feel at home, because essentially it is kind of your home for 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, however many years you are at school for, it doesn't matter. That's essentially your home for that amount of time. If you visit the school, if you do your research online, online, if you find a virtual tour, whatever, ask yourself this question. Is this somewhere where I think I can thrive? I know someone who went to a school, and I guess where she was staying and like dorming at, they were really rowdy, and she's more of a quiet academic type person. So she's actually transferring to a school that's more calm and peaceful and more her vibe. This person that I know felt like she couldn't focus at school. She said that anytime that she was at the library, it was too loud. Even in her dorms, it was too loud. She just didn't feel like it was for her. So just asking yourself beforehand could honestly really help out. We're moving on to number 5. This kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. Check student life and campus culture. If you're somebody who wants to be in a sorority or fraternity, does this school have a sorority or fraternity? Some of them don't. If you are somebody who wants to be in a religious club, do they have that religious club? You could always start it. You can. Some people are too busy to start a club. And if that's something that's really important to you to be a part of, then make sure that you research if they have it. If watching sports is something that's very important to you, it could be. Research if this school has the sport that you enjoy watching. For example, my school didn't have a football team. I don't really care, but maybe for somebody else it could be like, well, I want to have a football team at my school that I can go and watch their games every week. You can look up like a catalog of all the clubs, sororities, and fraternities. Again, some people don't care. I didn't care about sports. At first, I didn't really care about clubs either. I just wanted to be at a school near the beach, wasn't expensive, and had my major. And that's literally what that school had to offer me. A question that you can ask yourself is, do the clubs, organizations, and campus vibe align with your personality and interests? Let's just say you get into a Christian private school, but you're not religious, but it's a really good school. That's kind of like, do I go there or do I not go there? You should research that, because there's certain schools make you go to church once a week. Personally, if I wasn't somebody who enjoyed going to church or religious at all, like I wouldn't pick a school that would tell me I have to go every week. Number 6. Housing and location. Check dorm conditions and off-campus housing. This is very important, and I will speak on my experience because one of the most stressful things I ever went through was housing. When I first got accepted into Long Beach State, I guess I took too long to decide, which is why I'm making this video. I don't want you guys to take too long to decide because I got waitlisted into the dorms. I paid the application fee and everything just to be waitlisted, and I called multiple times to see if I had gotten in, and I didn't. So I think a month before school started, I had to find a studio. I found whatever took me. It was a 30-minute drive, very overpriced, really nice, but too expensive. And I just wish that I would have done more research on that. I was a little lost. I had nobody to... Stop showing your butt on camera. I wish that I would have had a little bit more help. I felt really lost, and I was basically doing everything by myself. Essentially, it's really up to you and to do your research. Moving and housing is pretty stressful. I would recommend dorming your first year. I do like that I didn't have to dorm because I had more freedom, but personally, I would have wanted to dorm at least for one semester so that I can get comfortable at my school, because everything is walking distance when you're dorming at school, and also to make friends. I made friends through my classes, but I feel like when you dorm, you have more of like, it's almost like a sleepover every day, and I feel like that's something valuable for people. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. People commute. People would prefer to not live on campus because they like that more independent style living. It's also more expensive to live at the dorms. So just doing your research and seeing what works well for you. When it comes to location, ask yourself where you would be happy, whether it's a big city, a town, the middle of nowhere. I know some schools are so big that it's like their own city. Would you want to live walking, biking distance from school, or do you want to commute? Some people do like to commute. Would it be better for you financially to stay home and just commute to school? Ask yourself, which of the schools that have accepted me offer that for me? Number 7, you might not think is as important, but honestly, it kind of is. So look at graduation and job placement rates. A good school should set you up for success after you graduate. When I did my master's, I just assumed, hey, I'm gonna get a master's in this, I'm gonna be able to find a job anywhere.
That's not true.
Literally at all. I think it's really important to see what programs they have, or if they help you out with internships, or they help you out with getting real world experience. A college degree is not all they look for now. They need experience. They don't want to just hire somebody that's new in this field, because they want somebody who is comfortable and that they don't have to train and teach everything to. Not every company is the same, but a lot of employers are looking for somebody with more experience. A question that you can actually go in and ask an advisor is, what's the percentage of students that graduate on time and find a job in their field? We're gonna move on to number 8. Think about class sizes, teaching styles, and school size. This wasn't one one of the main factors for me. I could care less if I was in a lecture hall.
Huh?
I could care less if a class was in a lecture hall or in a smaller size. I personally did prefer lecture halls. I'm someone who gets really anxious when like I'm in a small group setting and I have to speak, and typically in like a lecture hall you don't present or anything, like you're just listening to a professor talk while you take notes. To other people that's boring. Other people prefer more discussion-based classes, which I do not like. I know some schools have both. I think I had a class one year where I think on Tuesdays I went to a lecture hall, and then on Thursdays it was the same class but you're divided into smaller groups for more discussions and labs and stuff like that. Asking yourself what type of academic environment helps you succeed. This might not even be something that you really care about. It's just something to think about if it's important to you. We're gonna move on to number 9. Talk to current students and alumni. So you can find videos, you can go on TikTok, go on YouTube, go on their website, or maybe you know somebody that goes to the school, or maybe you can find somebody. I know that sounds weird, but like you can ask your friends, hey, do any of you guys know anybody who went to this school? And I'm sure people are more than happy to give you advice because they would have wanted somebody to give them advice. You know, like if somebody were to DM me on Instagram and say, hey, like I'm really thinking about going to this school, I'm not sure how this is about it, I'm more than happy to assist this person and really give them my opinion on this. Everyone has their own personal experiences. You can reach out to people who are at that school. Think to yourself, what are some things that current students love or hate about this school? Are there any
Red flags?
because sometimes there's something that you might not like from a school immediately. So just asking yourself that. If any of you guys have any questions about Long Beach, you can follow me on Instagram, text me on there, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm here to help. Hi. We're gonna move on to our last one. Number 10 is understand that you're making a commitment. My whole life, I am someone who believed if you start something, you have to finish it. And yes, that's true. But if you're not happy where you are, you can always go do what will make you happy. For example, a part of me wishes that I would have transferred to my dream school, but I didn't because I was like, well, I already started here. I have to finish here. I can't leave. It's too hard to transfer. All these mental blocks just stopping me from doing what would have maybe made me happier. You know, you never know. I could have been more miserable at another school. Like, I really don't know. But if you truly believe, I don't want to be at this school, or I don't like this major, or I actually want to live at home while I'm doing this, it'll help me so much. Whatever you think will make you happier, nothing should stop you from that. Be confident in your decision and your commitment. But if you decide to change your mind, who cares? As long as you're happy, it doesn't matter what anyone says, because people will say stuff. It does not matter what they say because they don't know. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know your experiences. They don't know why you're making this change. They just know that you're making the change. But for all they know, you're going to succeed so much more in this new environment. I spent so much time thinking that people were going to say stuff about me if I changed my mind or decided to do something different. And it stopped me from doing so many things, and I'm so tired of it. So I'm here to tell you guys, yes, picking your school is a huge commitment, but if a year in you decide, I don't like this, go talk to your advisor and figure out an action plan so that you can do what you really want. Some advice I'm going to give to you. In college, it's not like your high school counselor where they call you in every couple months to make sure you're on track. You're on your own unless you go make an appointment with your advisor. I would definitely recommend talking to them as often as you need to. I went to my advisor like every other week, whether it was a simple question, whether I needed help registering for classes, because they don't tell you what classes you need to take. You kind of have to figure that out on like the website. Asking yourself, will this school allow me to have a balance in my academic life, my work life, my hobbies, and even my social life? It's really important to not just be so focused on academics. It's about the social life that comes with it. It's about making friends while you're there. It's about learning new things. It's about trying new things. I think it's very rare to check off every box on the list, but if a school checks off more than the other ones, then I think that that's your school that you should go to. Those are my 10 tips. I'm sorry that this video, I was talking a lot, but like I'm just like excited, and I like love to like talk to people and like try and give them advice on things that I went through. I think out of all of these, my biggest advice is to really do your research and talk to your advisor beforehand, or talk to other people and make this decision for you. Don't make it for anybody else, make it for you, because you are the one that's going to be there for 4+ years. You're the one that's going to be interacting with the people there. You're the one taking the classes there. You're the one living there. It's all you. So do your research, talk to people that go there if you can, or even your advisor. Don't make the decision for anybody else, and just understand the commitment, but don't be discouraged if in the future you decide, I changed my mind. Last thing that I want to say is, if nobody's told you, I am proud of you, because this is a very stressful time, I'm sure. Deciding where you want to go, there's so many different factors, there's so many different things being thrown at you, different information. I'm sure that it's very stressful. I just want to say that I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing.
Sweetie.
If you have any other questions, you can comment them. You can text me through Instagram. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't tell me, because I liked making it and I don't want to get my feelings hurt. If you like this video, make sure you
Subscribe.
It means a lot to me when you guys subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers.
Kind of crazy.
I really appreciate it. If you got this far, comment a coffee emoji, because I only took one sip of it at the beginning of the video and now I'm going to chug it. I appreciate every single one of you for watching. It means a lot to me. Good luck making your college decisions. I'm sure that whatever you decide to pick is the right decision. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys very, very soon.